Welcome to part 3 of the Slouchy last minute hat. We are going to remove it today, and to do this it is fairly simple. If you've done a hat already on a knitting loom, you probably already know the process. It is simply a matter of placing all the stitches that are on the knitting loom on a piece of yarn that is coming from your knitting loom. So first I am going to go ahead and wrap my working yarn twice around, or you can just eyeball it. That's one, that's two, right there. Twice around, cut it to that point. Once you cut it, you are ready to bind off. Thread the end of the yarn tail through a tapestry needle. There we go. I like to pull it close to the front of my hair's all over the place, sorry. Okay, now once you have that, we're gonna go ahead and put all the stitches that are on the knitting loom on this piece of yarn that is coming from the last peg on your loom. All you do is simply go to the first peg, remove the loop that is on the peg, and pass it through the working yarn. And it's a nice long working yarn, so you just have to pull it through. Perfect. Now that stitch is on the working yarn. Go ahead and repeat the same process with all the other stitches. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do the second one. Jump the other ones. Go ahead, go all the way around. Oh, over here I'm losing one. There we go, I caught it. Pass the yarn through the stitches. Good job. Here I am. I'm gonna do the last stitches with you, taking them off the loom. One more. There we go. The item is off the knitting loom. I'm gonna take the knitting loom and put it on the side. And now your slouchy hat would look like this. Of course, obviously a lot longer than mine, as mine is just a sample. All you need to do now is very gently tug on that working yarn. Perfect. So you're tugging, the stitches are coming together in the center, and this will become the top of your hat. Tug. There we go. Our hole is nice and tight. Although my finger can still go through, I am going to fix this with the yarn tail. So with my yarn, with my tapestry needle, I am simply going to go across that little hole, catching both sides. And I am going to tighten that hole with the yarn. Gotta make sure that I pull gently on my yarn because I am using wool. A natural wool is very easy to cut by just using your hands. If you're using acrylic, chances are that your yarn won't cut. But if you are using wool or a natural fiber yarn, be very gentle when you're pulling on the working yarn. Once my hole is closed, which mine is, I am going to simply poke my tapestry needle through the center, push it through the back to the wrong side, and now I am simply going to weave in the ends. And I am sure you already know how to do that. Just hide your ends and then simply clip it close do your knitting. There's one. Now I'm gonna go the other direction, finding stitches there through the back. There we go, there's two. And now I'm gonna cut it as close as I can, the knitting. Perfect. Weaving your ends also at the beginning. Here's my beginning yarn tail. Go ahead and weave it in. I can show you how I do that if you want to see it. You can stick around and watch me, but it's pretty simple. Threading the tapestry needle again through the wrong side. I like to go up, then I simply go up through those knit stitches. I weaved it in one side, and now I'm gonna cross over to the other piece and just trying to weave in my ends. There we go. I think that's gonna be pretty tight right there. Once it's there, I am going to cut it as close as possible to my knitting. There we go. I have weaved in that end, and here's my mini slouchy hat. I hope you have enjoyed making this project with me. It is one of my favorite ones. To make the little holes open up more, all you need to do is simply block it. I like to steam block my things, and that definitely makes it a lot better. Opens up all the holes and it makes it look more open. Again, thank you for joining me, and this was making the last minute slouchy hat on the all-in-one knitting loom.